Okay, I think I'm going to start now. I'll just keep admitting people as I go on. Okay, so welcome everyone. There's lots of people talking in the chat, and first of all, apologies because I can't do the chat and talk to you and admit people. So I'm just going to talk to you. I won't be involved in the chat. So I'm really excited about what we're going to do, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're going to do it, and then we're going to go ahead and start the ceremony, okay? But what I would like to say is to remember that throughout all of this, I am going to explain to you what we're doing and why, but it's your process. You're a unique, amazing human being, and I am merely guiding you. So if you feel in the process that you want to do something slightly different, or maybe you don't quite understand what I'm saying, go off in a tangent in the ceremony and do something completely different, that's all fine too, okay? There's kind of no right or wrong way to do these things. We're just moving information in our field. So whatever way works for you is the best way, actually. Okay, so tonight's ceremony, what we're going to do is we are going to take 4 triggers that we are in a toxic relationship to, and we are going to reweave them into a divine geometry, okay? And the thing is that what I see from working with, I don't know, thousands of people now, is that we seem to be, many of us seem to be stuck in these habituated, unconscious patterns of information that we apply in relationship to everything in our life, everything and everyone in our life. And I've been really looking into morphogenic fields much more at the moment. And if you're interested in morphogenic fields, go and look at the work of Rupert Sheldrake. And he basically says that our memory is not in our head, and that our brains are just kind of transmuters. And what we're doing is we're accessing information in fields all of the time. So, for example, your parents have a morphogenic field. They each have a morphogenic field that was set up by their parents that they bring together, and then you are kind of brought up in that morphogenic field. Every object or person or animal or anything in this relationship, in this realm, has a morphogenic field around it. So basically it's surrounded by information. And in shamanic terms, everything has consciousness. Even inanimate objects, even this computer that you're looking at, has its own consciousness and its own morphogenic field. So it has information around it, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to bring to the surface, by looking at it and feeling it as deeply as we can, these things that trigger us. So what we're going to do when we step into the feeling of the trigger is we're going to basically give ourselves access to the information in the morphogenic field, so it can be revealed to us. Why do we keep being triggered? What insight are we offered around it, and how does it feel? And the way that we receive insight is that we feel something. We feel the frequency of it, okay? And our frequency essentially tunes us to information in the field. So if you're holding a frequency of victimhood, you will be tuning yourself to things that perpetrate you or make you feel a victim. That's just the way it works. Your frequency is aligning to other frequencies, and that's how you get matches in your field, okay? So the way that we unmatched to something that we don't want anymore is we go right into the depths of it and we find what it is and we see it from as many perspectives as we can. We receive insight on that. And then when we know it fully, we have a choice and we can change it, but we can't change something that we're unconscious to. Okay, so that all being said, what we're going to do is we're going to reweave 4 toxic triggers. Now, I did invite all of you to look up how to walk the 8 before you came here, but I'm going to briefly describe it to you just in case some of you don't know what I mean by walking the 8. So traditionally, even though we don't know where this tradition came from, maybe it came from all places simultaneously, you walk the 8 like this. You set up 2 rocks, okay? So these would be your 2 rocks. They're about 1 meter apart. And you would stand at the knot of the 8 between those 2 rocks. And what you would do is you would be connected to the earth and stellar stars, as above, so below. And then you would, holding an intention, walk around the 2 rocks. You're physically walking around the 2 rocks, okay? And the reason that we walk in a figure of 8 when we want to have something revealed to us, or we want to change a geometry or an energetic pattern, is because walking the 8 takes us out of linear space and time, and it gives us access to our own power, because we are literally, if you were going to look at the geometry of a human being, it would look like an 8. We are infinite energy source, okay? So essentially walking physically in a figure of 8 gives us access to infinite potentials, that's infinity, and our own innate power. And when we walk in a figure of 8, what's happening is that we are using energy and physicality to change our reality, because around us we have an electromagnetic biofield, or you could say you're accessing your own reality morphogenic field. And as you walk in a figure of 8, what happens is that you're taking your physicality through the energy of a figure of 8 and using your will, your intention, and your imagination, you reprogram the energy and therefore the physicality of your realm, okay? Because everything in this physical realm comes from energy first. So that's why we walk in a figure of 8, because the electromagnetic biofield around your body holds all the information pertaining to your reality. So that's what we need to go into to change it. So that's how you would traditionally walk the 8, just with 2 rocks. But being me, I had the idea that we could expand upon that. So what I decided to do is that we would set up 4 rocks, okay? So what you're going to do is, this is going to, in the middle, there's going to be no rock, because I want the middle to be a fluid, if you like, space of you. It's a fluid space of you. Rocks actually hold crystallized information, okay? So we're going to be turning the crystallized information of our 4 triggers into flow. So what you're going to do in a moment, I'll give you time to do this, I'm just going to explain it all first, is you're going to set up 4 rocks around you, okay? And it's good if this is about 1 meter or maybe a bit bigger, okay? So there's 1 meter between you and each rock, roughly, and maybe this is about 1.5 meters. I don't know, set it up so you can move between them, okay? So this is what I'm now going to call the space of you. And these 4 rocks are going to represent your 4 triggers, and we'll work out what those triggers are in a minute. And what I want to show you is, let me just draw something. I want to show you how your 4 triggers are in fact separate from you. You're not connected to them. So there's separation consciousness here when we begin the ceremony. And not only that, But when you put the 4 rocks together, they actually, the 4 triggers and the 4 rocks, they form a square around you, which you could say is a satanic cube, okay? So in other words, the 4 triggers hold you to a satanic agenda, which is materialism. And they're very fixed and they box you in and they constrain you. And you pretend that they have nothing to do with you, because this is what we do with our triggers. We kind of try and push them away and pretend that they're nothing to do with us, even though obviously they trigger us and we have a reactionary experience with them, because none of us actually want to be in pain or feel suffering. So we push these triggers away from us, okay? And they form this constraint around us. And it's material because it's fixed, it's stuck, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn this fixed dynamic of 4 things that are triggering you into a flowing geometry. So once you've set up your 4 rocks around you, I'm going to be using music. And what we're going to do is you're going to begin, I'm going to set you up. So you're going to be in the middle of your 4 triggers. And I am going to connect you to the earth and stellar stars. I'm going to call in the spirit allies of the 6 directions and our ancestors to witness us in this shamanic ceremony. And then, so I'm going to connect you to the earth and stellar stars. And then I'm going to ask you to start to walk with your first trigger. So you're walking around the U space and around your first trigger. And you're going to do that for 1 song. Okay. Now, as you're doing this walk around your trigger, what you've got to do is you've got to try to feel the trigger as much as possible. And because you're physically walking around it, you should be getting these feelings in your body. And feel free to move your body as it wants to, as you are walking around the trigger and around the U space in the middle. And what's going to happen when you do this is you're going to get memories, ideas, emotions, all kind of things that arise as you walk between you and the trigger. And I'll talk about what the triggers could be in a minute. But essentially, they could be humans or systems or objects or things you consume. They can be anything. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to feel your way into this trigger and feel what it's doing to you and how it makes you think and what memories or ideas come up and how it's affecting you, okay? So at the end of the first song, you're going to come back to your U space, and then the next song is going to come on, and you are going to start to walk around the U space, and sorry, that's one we've just done. You're going to start walking around your second trigger and the U space, and now you're feeling everything that you can, again, the emotions, the memories, everything around the second trigger, okay? Then when the second song's finished, you're going to come back to the U space. You're going to start walking now. Actually, it's this way up. You're going to start walking around the third trigger, okay? And so on until you've walked around 4 triggers with 4 songs and you've felt them as much as you possibly can, okay? And I'm going to give you an actual demo of rocks that I've got set up in a minute. Now, once you've done that, you've now walked between the U space and your trigger, and you're really feeling it. And I'm telling you, I did this ceremony yesterday on my own, and it feels horrible. Just letting you know, it doesn't feel good. You've walked around 4 triggers, and you're just feeling awful. So then what you're going to do is you're now going to begin in the next song, and I will call it after every song. So you don't need to remember this. I'm going to tell you after each song what you're doing, okay? You're now going to walk for the next song between all of your triggers, okay? And you could actually, I haven't drawn it here, but you could actually walk around them like this as well if you want, okay? So what you're trying to do is you're walking in any correlation or configuration that you're compelled to, okay? So it doesn't need to be in an orderly fashion. In fact, it's better if you just follow the impulses of your body. It's always better if you follow those impulses. And what you're doing is you're just walking between all of them and you're feeling all of them. And what's going to start happening now is you're going to start to begin to perceive how they are all related to one another. So in other words, you're going to start to see correlations between these triggers. And you don't need to pick triggers that are correlated. You can pick random triggers, but you're going to start seeing correlations, okay? Then, and that's quite long. I'm going to give you quite a long time to walk between them all to see the insights and the correlations. Then you're going to come back to the U space again. And I'm going to drop you into your heart center. And you are now going to begin to breathe into your heart center for about 5 minutes to another song with the frequency of wisdom and love and gratitude. Now, you don't have to do all three. You can use one or two or all three of them if you want. But I'm going to offer love, wisdom, and gratitude. So you're now going to put yourself, because we've been in quite a low frequency because we've been doing the triggers. We're now going to elevate our frequency by breathing into our heart, however you want to do that with these higher frequencies. And then you are now going to reweave all of the toxic triggers between your U space into a divine geometry, because you are now holding the frequency of gratitude, wisdom, and love. And so what that's going to look like is probably something a bit like this as you're walking. So you're now walking around your U space, but actually when I did it properly, it ended up looking like this, which is the diagram that I sent you. So when you start walking in all of these kind of configurations, however you feel like you want to, okay, don't be bound by anything. Just follow the impulses of your body. You're going to start to weave this beautiful geometry, and you're holding the intention to reweave it into a divine geometry, and you are in the frequency of love, wisdom, and gratitude, okay? And that's what we're going to do for the next 4 songs. And then when we're finished, we're going to come back to the middle and I will guide you through the end, okay? So I'm now going to physically show you what the rocks look like. And then I'm going to get you to choose your triggers and set up your rocks, okay? So I'm just going to give you a quick physical demo. So those are my rocks on the floor, okay? So this in the middle, if you want, you can have a piece of paper, but you don't have to. This is your U space, okay? I've just put a piece of paper here because it's easier, and it might be easier for you. And what you've got is you've got your 4 triggers, and in a minute, we're going to write on paper what the triggers are and put them under each rock so that you remember what's going on, okay? Now, when we first begin, I'm going to connect you to the earth and stellar stars. As I've said, you're going to be standing on your U space. And then I'm going to ask you to step into the knot between the U space and your first trigger. So that's here. Okay, let me just move my chair. So this is the knot between my U space and my first trigger. And now you're going to walk between your first trigger and your U space, like I've already told you, okay? When that's finished, I will ask you to come into the knot of your second trigger. You will then walk to feel that trigger, okay, for a song. And then when we're finished, we'll step into the knot of the third trigger and walk between them, and so on. And then obviously when you're walking between all your triggers, you've got all of this space to walk between them, okay, however you want to. And don't forget that the whole thing with walking the 8 is you should be following the physical impulses of your body. So if you feel like skipping or getting on your knees or walking backwards or turning around or suddenly stopping, you can do whatever you want as you're walking that, okay? So this is what the configuration looks like, okay? At the end, when we reweave everything, you will be walking around your U space and reweaving everything around your U space, okay? However that may look to you, okay? All right, that's my physical demo. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask all of you to get, if you want, well, you can have 5 pieces of paper. One can have the name of you written on it. But I'm now going to ask you to write down 4 triggers in your life. Now, when I did this yesterday, I used alcohol, which is still triggering me, even though I don't drink. I used anxiety as a trigger, and I used 2 people in my life that trigger me, okay? But you could be triggered by the health system. You could be triggered by a disease in your body. You could be triggered by the place you live, someone at work. You could be triggered by a family member. You could be triggered by an emotion that you keep having or a memory that keeps coming up. So very simply write 4 triggers, and they do not need to be related to each other. Pick the 4 most difficult triggers in your life. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Somebody is asking if there will be a replay, and yes, there will. There's going to be a recording up on YouTube as soon as it's finished on my YouTube channel. Yes, you can pick anything as a trigger, absolutely anything that actually triggers you in real life. But someone's saying, can they use the ego mind as a trigger? How is that triggering you? Is it making you scared all the time? Is it making you critical or reactionary? Like, what is it doing? You can reuse your stones after the ceremony, but you will have to clean them of the end. Actually, you won't have to clean them. They're going to be amazing. Yes, you can reuse your stones. Somebody is asking that if they have difficulties walking, can they sit? Yes, you can absolutely do this entire thing in your imagination if you need to. And I would invite you to set up the rocks and sit in the U space if that is what you need to do. Someone else is asking, can the trigger be something like exhaustion? Yes, it can. It can be anything. So just so that you know, I am recording this, and if for some reason you get bounced out of the ceremony, you can do it via the recording later, okay? And also, in terms of the recording, it will be up on YouTube. So if you do not want to be observed by other people, you will need to turn your camera off when we're in the actual ceremony. We are going to be walking for 40 minutes. Okay, so we need to do the energetic setup, and then we'll be actually walking for 40 minutes. So I think that the actual ceremony will take an hour, and we'll probably start in about 5 minutes. There are some more questions. Let me just see what they are. Someone's asked. Someone's asking, what if they're not able to feel the triggers in the ceremony? Just trust that the ceremony is going to help you. Maybe that's one of your triggers that you can't feel. Okay, so now I've given you time to write down your triggers. I'm now going to give you 2 minutes to set up your space, okay? So a reminder that this is how you set up your space. You've got the U space in the middle, and you've got 4 triggers around you. They're written on pieces of paper under 4 rocks. And I'm also going to ask you to put your volume on maximum, and I'm now going to do a sound check. If for some reason that you can't hear music, you need to put your computer on speaker view. And if you still can't hear music, you might have to use the recording, okay? So I'm now going to share screen. You're going to turn your volumes up and set up your rocks. Okay. So I can see Anne, Trump, and Francis. I'm going to do a sound check. If you can hear sound, can you please give me a thumbs up? Okay, great. That's sound check, everyone. I'll just do it for 10 more seconds. If you can't hear it, you need to put your screen to speaker view. Okay. So remember, if you don't want to be on YouTube, to turn your cameras off. And what I'm going to do now is I am inviting all of you to stand in the U space of your configuration. Standing in the U space. And we're going to close our eyes for a moment and open up our ceremonial space. So I am placing all of you in a meta womb. So just relax, close your eyes. And I now call in the spirit allies of the 6 directions to assist us. From the north, I call the armored bears and the hummingbird. Bring us the wisdom of the ancient ones and protection. I call in the spirit allies of the south, the spirit of fire to burn away what is no longer needed, and the body of Pythoness, healing in our ceremony. I call in the spirit allies of the east, the great condor and the eagle, to rise and give us an overview and to bring us the light of a new day. I call in the spirit allies of the west, Black Mother Jaguar, to transform this energy and to take us into the deep cave of our hearts and into the shadow of death so we can be reborn again. I call the spirit allies of the below, the elementals, the mountains, the rocks, the rivers, the streams, and the body of our Mother Gaia. And I call the spirit allies of above, the star nations and the planetary bodies, raining your evolutionary light down upon us as we move through our ceremony. And we set our intention now collectively to reweave 4 toxic triggers in our lives into a divine geometry within the space of who we are. And now I invite all of you to place your hands in a slightly uncomfortable position, just as we begin to remind your body that you are undertaking a sacred journey. And feel your connection to the earth and stellar stars. Take your awareness up into the heavens to land within the consciousness of your first father, that golden body of magnificent light, the stellar star, benevolent. And see the 2 interwoven threads of light that come down from the stellar star, down and down until they melt through the crown of your head, through the central core of your body, exiting your body at your perineum and continuing on their downwards path through all the layers of the earth, down and down until they arrive at the heart and the hearth of your mother Gaia, that white hot octahedron of maternal light, the earth star. Feel yourselves held between the above and the below, between your first father and your first mother, as a divine child of both cosmos and earth. And call forth your ancestors to witness you in this walk and this work. Feel their presence all around you, holding you and grateful for all that you do and all that you are. And so we begin, and I invite you to step into the knot between your first trigger and the U space. And when the music begins, you are going to walk between the U space and your first trigger, feeling it on every level as much as you can.
Midnight whispers drift through the room. A lone heart beating in a velvet gloom. I walk the corridors of a closed down dream. Moonlight stitching shadows to the seams. Metallic breath of rain on broken glass. Memories ferry me too heavy to pass. Hands tremble on a piano side. Glass of time spills stars from the sky. Every note a confession, every chord a ache. I wear this night like a cloak I can't shake. In the mirror I meet a voice carved from young trainer. A threadbare scream wrapped in a velvet clash. Strings wail softly like distant thunderstorms. Drums pulse in ribs, or where the hero that forms. I summon a choir of echoes, mute and grave. They chant the truth I'm afraid to save. Dark is a river where my secrets flow. I'm the boat and the oar in this lonely boat. Let the shadows cradle all that I am, a fragile flame in a merciless jam. If sorrow is music, then let it rain. Pour the ache until I breathe again. Unique and haunted, I'll wear this tune, or wear the hero bound hard under a silver moon. I hear the wilds of midnight picking at the skies, a cello crying mercy from the inner eyes. Every instrument a heartbeat breaking free. Together they unlock what I'm meant to be. Fade into velvet dusk, let silence stay. I am the night's own echo, never fully awake.
Coming back to the U space, and now stepping into the knot between the U space and your second trigger. And as the music begins, walking and feeling this trigger as much as you can.
I've learned to hold the line and to never look away. I've taught myself the lies that will get me through the day, and nothing ever lasts but the pain that circulates through the chasms of our past and the breaths we dare to take. Oh, mama, can you see? I've got a darkness shining through me. I've got a darkness shining through me. I've learned to hold the weight of this mirror to the sky, but I've taught myself the sense of never asking why, and nothing ever lasts but the blackness that dilates through the curtains of our past to the steps we want to take. Darkness shining through me. I've got a darkness shining through me. Oh, mama, can you see? I've got a darkness shining through me. I've got a darkness shining through me.
And coming back to the U space. And now stepping in to the knot between yourself, the U space, and your third trigger. And when the music begins, walking between them, feeling as much as you can.
Do you need someone? Are you scared of what's to come? If you leave, then who will the next one be? Will he do the same, or will he let you see? You don't have to hurt. You don't have to hurt anymore. With a little time, take a look and find what you're searching for. You are broken on the floor, and you're crying, crying. He has done this all before, but you're lying, lying to yourself that he'll find out, that he will change to someone else. But you're broken on the floor, still asking him for more. Will you leave, or will you carry on? Is your love from before still strong? If you leave, will you keep the memory? The night so long, the cut so deep. You don't have to hurt, you don't have to hurt anymore. With a little time, take a look and find what you're searching for. You are broken on the floor, and you're crying, crying. asking him for more. You are broken on the floor, and you're crying, crying. He has done this all before, but you're lying, lying to yourself that he'll find help, that he will change to someone else. But you're broken on the floor, still asking him for more. Asking him for more, more. Still asking him for more.
Coming back to the U space, and now standing at the knot between the U space and your fourth trigger. And when the music begins, walking between them, feeling the trigger as much as you can.
I want to be the king of my body and mind. Gravity, let me go. Before it bruises and blackens me and you, bury me in the glow. And I find sorrow in idle mind, and solace in being hurt. You better run, boy, run, or be afraid. Cry, boy, cry, don't play the game. Gravity holds me down, and it's taking over. I call everywhere, oh, cry out. You are my destroyer. I call everywhere, oh, cry out. A light shines through a cloud of colored fumes. Gravity, let me go. So I can feel the warmth of the sun. Bury me in the glow. You better run, boy, run, but be afraid. Cry, boy, cry, don't play the game. Gravity holds me down, and it's taking over. I call everywhere, oh, cry out. You are my destroyer. I call everywhere, oh, cry out.
Coming back to the you space with your eyes closed for a moment, feeling the triggers around you. Feel the pain, the emotions, the suffering, the thoughts that they have filled you with and boxed you in with. And now, holding an intention to find the correlations between them, to receive new insight and information, you are now going to walk between all the triggers in any way that you are moved to do. Finding the correlations, receiving insight. coming back to the you space with your eyes closed, feeling this weave of triggers that you created unconsciously in your life, now made conscious. Drop your awareness into your heart center. And as the music begins, you are going to breathe and fill your heart center with a higher vibration, the frequencies of love, wisdom, and gratitude. Breathing them in, filling your heart center as the music plays.
To create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. Let the wind blow into your life such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you, nurture you. Oh, the power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. Let the wind blow into your life such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you, nurture you. Power of love is here now.
now using all of your breath, all of your willpower, all of your imagination, and your whole body, you are going to weave these triggers in a beautiful divine geometry through, around, and with your U space as the music plays.
I am strong, I am safe, I am enough, I trust myself, I follow my heart, I know my way, I walk this path, day by day, I am in my power, I am in my flow, I don't need to change, I'm already whole, I am in my power, I feel it inside, I stand in my truth, I let myself shine, I let go of fear, I let go of doubt, I release the stories that held me down, I welcome love, I welcome peace, I welcome love, I welcome peace, good things are there and finding me, I am in my power, I am in my flow, everything I need is already home. I am in my power, I am in my flow, I don't have to prove all that I already know, I am in my power, I feel it inside, I trust where I am. Yeah. I used to run to a love like it might disappear, try to prove I was enough by staying crystal clear, but the harder that I reached, the further it would go, until I learned the truth I didn't need to hold. I don't hustle for affection, I don't beg to be seen, what's meant to me, my energy knows exactly where I've been. I don't chase, I attract what's aligned walks back to me. When I stand inside my world, love responds naturally. I don't chase, I attract, I don't force, I don't plead, I embody what I want, and it rises up to meet me. Yeah. I stopped performing versions of who I thought I'd be, and now I move in my own rhythm, and life responds to me. The moment I relax, the magic found its way. What's drawn to my presence was never meant to stray. I don't question my value, I don't shrink my light. What's ready for my energy feels calm, clear, and right. I don't chase, I attract what's aligned walks back to me. When I soften into trust, things unfold effortlessly. I don't chase, I attract. I don't prove, I don't try. I become what I desire, and the world replies. I am magnetic when I'm grounded. I am powerful when I'm still. Nothing meant for my becoming will require force or will. I don't chase, I attract. In my body, in my flow, what is meant to stay with me feels easy, warm and slow. I don't chase, I attract. I am chosen by my truth. When I stand in who I am, life moves closer to it. I believe I'm whole, I don't need to heal. I believe I'm rich, it's already real. I believe I'm source, not the ego's cries. I believe I command and time complies. I believe it's done, I don't need to prove. I believe it sees, I don't have to move. I believe in me, not the world's old lies. I believe I rise, I believe I rise, I believe I rise. I believe I rise. I believe I'm whole, I don't need to heal. I believe I'm rich, it's already real. I believe I'm source, not the ego's cries. I believe I command and time complies. I believe it's done, I don't need to prove. I believe it sees, I don't have to move. I believe in me, not the world's old lies. I believe I rise, I believe I rise, I believe I rise. I believe I rise. I believe I it's already real. I believe I'm source, not the ego's cries. I believe I command and time complies. I believe it's done, I don't need to prove. I believe it sees, I don't have to move. I believe in me, not the world's old lies. I believe I rise, I believe I rise, I believe I rise, I believe I rise.
Same old streets, but they shine more. The little things I used to miss now feel like moments I can't resist. No grand design, no perfect plan, just the world beneath my hands. It's good to be alive, to feel the air, to laugh, to laugh without care. Every breath's a chance to start. It's good to be alive, right where we are. Oh. coffee warms my shaking hands. I smile at strangers, make new friends. The weight I wore just fell behind. I'm finally light, I'm finally fine. No need for more than what I've got. This moment's everything I'm not. It's good to be alive, to feel the air, to laugh, to laugh without a care. Every breath's a chance to start. It's good to be alive, right where we are.
And finding your way back to the you space. And feeling how you within this new space is a new space. Connected to and integrated with the divine geometry of flow, filled with gratitude, wisdom, and love. Feel and see this geometry all around you. Your new choice of flow in your life. And I invite you now to collect each rock and each paper and place them with you within the you space of who you are. And feel how all of it is held within you. One space, one flow, one divine geometry. And so now, with our gratitude, we release the spirit allies of the 6 directions and our ancestors who have witnessed us in this walk of new geometry and flow and integration. And we also send our gratitude to each one of us here, our brothers and sisters who share this space with us. And most importantly, we send our gratitude to ourselves. And so I now declare that our ceremony is complete. Thank you all. Well done, everybody. I hope you're all feeling really different and that you will see changes in your life, which I know you will because you've reorganized everything. So just a little bit of housekeeping. The rocks and the papers are now currently magical objects, but very positive magical objects. So if you want to keep using your rocks or crystals to walk around, that's absolutely fine. They've been programmed really nicely. You could potentially put them all on your altar for a while, or perhaps take them to Mother Earth and let her assist you in the integration. With the pieces of paper, you can tell them that they are just ordinary pieces of paper now, and you may dispose of them as you wish. Or perhaps, which would be more my inclination, I would go and bury them in the earth to add to the fertilizer. So yeah, but do with them what you will, but obviously do it mindfully. And other than that, yeah, great work, everyone. That was just fantastically fun to be part of. Thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing from you, the changes that have appeared in your lives for the better. And don't forget as well, when people come together like this, they exponentially affect the rest of humanity. So that weave that you've created will affect everyone in your reality. That will then cascade and affect people in their realities, and so on and so forth. So thank you all, and brilliant. Until the next time, lots of love.